Happy day, YouTube. My name is John, and this is my channel, The Intermancer. The last few videos have been live coding adventures on the way to actually seeing some of these organisms come out of the server, and I think we're almost there. We might get there this time. I've been trying to keep the videos short so that they stay interesting. Let's see how we go. At the end of the last one, I just made all these endpoint changes to the experimentation context file, and I pushed it up to GitHub. So now we're going to jump over to Claude, and again, we're going to go to projects. Claude is great with the way you can define projects and start new chats based on the project with all of its included documents. I'm learning that dealing with these LLMs is really all about context management and turning your thoughts inside out. Although I'm still a little pre-articulate about how to put the whole turning your thoughts inside out piece, but that's what I'm trying to do. Going here, let's go ahead and just update the GitHub project. Remember, I started all of these changes on a branch in GitHub and brought that branch, that JSON in and out branch, into GitHub rather than the master branch. So now everything's been synced. My experimentation file should be up there. Is it up there? Let's just check real quick. Gen AI context. Okay, good. Everything's in there. Okay, what changes? What do I need to tell it as a Java developer? That's usually a good thing. That's what I'm told, is that if you tell the LLM to take on a role, then it does things better. I've been having these small chats, and based on the Java context I've been giving it, it's been doing fine, but I'm trying to get into good habits of specifying whatever small things help everything go better. So as a Java developer, what changes need to be made to the classes in the Gaia F core project to get up to date with the experimentation D context file. Let's see. Gathering my thoughts, be right there. Create the experiment class, create the experiment controller, update the seeder. All right, needs that signature change, that's all good. Update the basic seeder interface and pass the repository as a parameter. Okay, excellent. Update the seeder interface. Let's see if it gives me all this code as an integration. It didn't do the integrations, which is interesting. I wonder if I've been kind of hitting the limit of my pro plan. You see, I've got the pro plan. I wonder if I've been hitting the limit on that. But I still have the copy here, so we should be good. In fact, it'll probably copy the whole thing if I wanted to bring it in. I've been kind of moving away from bringing my chats into the project. It's been harder to do that than I expected, and not really worth the trouble. Maybe I'll do it at the end here. We'll see. There's a whole bunch of chats for this, so I don't know about that. Anyway, here are the changes needed. Update the seeder interface. That's good, so let's do that. Copy this. Come over here to seeder, I'm just taking everything, boom, save that. And it just changed the signature as I knew I needed to do. For the seed, since it's bringing in the repo like it's specified in the interface, it's passing that repo to all of the other methods. But it didn't tell me everything it needed, so it just gave me the idea. So we'll come back to that. Create experiment class. The experiment class is going to be a component. It's going to be auto-wired. Seed, create the experiment controller, request mapping experiment, seed, pow, pow, pow. Those are all good. So let's take the experiment, and over here, where did it put experiment? Good, in experiment package. So new Java file, new class experiment, and paste what I got, save that. Okay, all that's straightforward as I expected. This experiment controller is also pretty straightforward at this point. Copy this. This goes in controller, right? Yes, core controller. New Java file, class. Oh. Experiment controller. Place everything in there, save that. Okay. The last thing I need to do is, you'll notice that for the updates to the basic seeder, it didn't pass everything down. It didn't write all that out. So I'm going to ask it, write the complete basic seeder.java file. Ooh, is it going to give it to me the way I want it? Looks like it so far. Let's see. There it is. Let's see. All right. Looking good, looking good. Okay. I wonder why it's as slow as it is. I guess it's pretty fast. I imagine it could be faster. This isn't bad. It's certainly doing it faster than I could write it myself. And I'm going to just take this, copy this. I was just watching it as it was going. It seemed to be doing everything that it was doing before, just adding those repo.save with the passed in repository, the way I'd expected, the way I specified. So this basic seeder, save that. Okay. Now hopefully the code is to a point where I can start up my server, call that experiment seed endpoint, and then call the repo get organism IDs thing and see stuff. So let's see if that happens. First we'll test the build. Build successful. So now we'll go over here to the application, start that up. This is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's start a new tab, local host, 8080. What was Gaia F experiment seed. It gave me the list, so now we can see if those are in the repo. Repo, what is the method for the list? Just list. Oh no, white label error page. Okay, I just have something wrong. I'm probably just going for the wrong one. Oh, right, organism repo list. Okay. There is nothing wrong. User error. And there they are. Okay, so now I should be able to describe one of these and see what it looks like. This is what I've been going for. So just the get organism repo organism ID. So I can go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a new tab. Local host, Gaia F, organism repo. Over here, let's just pick one. There you go. That is excellent. I know things are in the repo. It's not giving me that full JSON representation. It gave me a JSON representation of just ID, although that probably came out of the toString method. This is probably the default of toString. Let's see. Organism. Get this out of the way. Where's the structure? Package structure. Extensions, GaiaF core, outline. That's what I want. Organism, get ID, return ID. What's it do for toString? Why did it do that? So the organism repository, organism controller, and get organism by ID, organism response entity, okay with the organism. Why did it just give me ID? Why didn't it descend or anything? I bet the default toString method, I bet the defaults just don't descend. I'll have to figure that out. 13 minutes. I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to start with Copilot. Let's start here and say, let's do new chat. I always like to do new chats. Organism controller dot get organism by ID. Organism by ID seems to only output when I call the organism repo organism ID endpoint. All that gets output is the ID of the organism. Why doesn't it output the chromosomes also? The The issue is likely lies in how the organism object is being serialized to JSON when returned by the GET_ORG. By default, Spring Boot uses Jackson for JSON serial. If the organism class does not include the chromosomes field in its getter methods, or if the field is annotated with JSON ignore. Oh, does organism not have get chromosomes? Add chromosomes. Get ID. Look at that. Okay. Organism doesn't have get chromosomes. It has add chromosome. So in my organism domain objects, let's shrink this chat. What do I need to add to organism so that it gives me the getter? Organism is base organism, and it never did base organism, did it? No, it didn't, so we're just going to take that out. Now, since it is a data quantum consumer, and data quantum consumer is the thing that has ID, data quantum consumer, string get ID, there we go. So in organism, okay, so for organism, we're going to add some methods, a method section. Methods, just like I did up here. Yeah, methods. And I'm going to add the one that's already there. Add void add chromosome. Add chromosome. Obviously, this is all Java style stuff with all of the verbosity that is implied by that. Adds chromosome to the end of the chromosomes list. And list chromosome get chromosomes returns the list chromosome list of chromosomes. You can see I'm trying to teach myself how to be Java agnostic. I say that as I'm trying to be agnostic in the description of a method signature that is clearly Java style. So my hypocrisy knows no bounds. It knows no bounds. I'm not a super hypocrite, but I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. That is exciting. That is exciting. So now I don't need to worry about that yet. Yeah, I do. Since I changed the context, now I have to push it back up and refresh my Claude project context and regenerate the organism class. What all changes did I make? Basic seeder, all these things came straight out of that, so it's all based on the current stuff. Okay, so I can just add this. Nope, add all of this. Added expand experiment controller as given by Claude, modified Cedar and basic Cedar according to the updated description. Updated the description of organism so that the chromosomes are included in the output. Yeah. Commit and push. Okay. Now over here, I go back to my projects, I go back to Gaia F, I update GitHub, let that happen. Rewrite organism and organism test so that they match the description in organism domain objects. Organism domain objects.md. Let's see how this happens. Now I'm focused on which classes I want to rewrite. I probably should, in fact, I'm just going to do it. After it's done here, I'm going to say, are there any other changes I need to make? Am I? I don't think there are. I'm keeping track of things. I'm just going to take these changes and do the same build and see if everything works. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Organism test. This is excellent. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Let's see how it goes. All right. I don't expect it to have too much in terms of changes for these things because I only added the getter for that chromosome list. So I'm going to read that one. ID, add chromosome, get chromosomes, that's easy, consume. All right, everything's there the way I want. Copy this, come over to the code, look at organism. Where are you, organism? And now I will update organism test. Copy that. Everything here. Save that. Stop my server. Do the build. Build successful. Restart the server. Everything's going. Okay. different seed. Did that. Here's the same thing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. That is very exciting. That's a place worth stopping. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I am having a ball. That was so much fun. Chromosome 13, ID 133. Wow, is it just giving random numbers for the chromosome ID? I'm going to explore that later. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again later. Bye now.